We are recording. This is session, are you ready? 15.
Wow.
Of Rippers Resurrected. 12.3. You guys did take a long time chasing down the Hyatt room.
Level 1.
I think you're up to level 3 at this point.
I'm working.
Is that veteran? Is that seasoned? What is that?
No, that's still novice. You get to become seasoned at level 5.
Oh, we're still novice, eh? Okay.
So once you finish this plot point, you level up. We'll go from there. So, all right. So we will start. We will dive right in. When we last left our adventurers, they had traveled off to the far land of Hungary to assist Lazlo's family.
Oh, yeah.
And
was that long ago? Oh my God.
Yeah.
This was a character development episode. That's right.
That's right. I gave character development. So, you are back at the Ripper Lodge in London, and Egon is reading the paper, the London Times, and the headline is a new Ripper letter. And Ford is sitting there saying, "They took care of Jack the Ripper 7 years ago, 1888. The Rippers won. They took out Jack, they took out Dracula, they took out Frankenstein, they took care of all of them. I don't know what this paper's thinking."
Thank you, exposition boy. Sorry.
So tell me, you not having played or read the first plot point, you need to be made aware of what has transpired in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So, the previous Ripper heroes successfully defeated Frankenstein, Jack the Ripper, so on and so forth, Dracula, so on and so forth, to save the day.
So what you're saying is that all the good challenges have been met. There's nothing left for us to do. We might as well just go home. Got it.
But did they defeat Mothra, Godzilla, Gamera, Mechagodzilla? Was that defeated as well?
But they didn't get to Mumra.
Ah, okay.
No, we're gonna have to get like Jack Frost or like some other B-lister. All the A-listers.
I think Pinocchio might be on that list.
He is a bit creepy, right? He's an animated doll. He's not that much different than Chucky when you think about it.
He's not pretty much one step away from being Chucky.
Yeah. And when he says,
screws off, it turns into like a baton or something.
and if he says, "I'm going to kill you," and his nose doesn't grow, then you're in trouble. Yeah.
So, Mina, Harker's wife, who actually runs the Rippers, she comes to visit with the paper, and she says, "Excellent, I'm glad to see that you guys are doing some homework. I would like for you to investigate this. I know that I was there when Jack the Ripper was killed, when we defeated the Cabal the first time. So I'd like you guys to investigate to see, get some fresh eyes on this, see what's going on. Let me know who's copying this or how they're copying it or why."
His brother. I called it right now.
We have to go back to London?
You're in London.
I thought you said we were in Hungary.
You were, and you returned to London.
Okay. I guess I missed that.
So
sorry for our listeners.
Oh my God. Jonathan Quirk stares at the paper, dumbfounded. "Do you see this? Tickets at the performing arts are now $38 for adults and $25 for students. That is outrageous." He slams the paper down.
is that one of the things on the left-hand side?
Yeah, that's one of the things on the left-hand side.
Come on, I was having to find a newspaper banner thing that I could use.
I think that's awesome. I think that's great.
I've only read this plot point like 6 times in preparation for this because we kept postponing it.
We examined the paper. Does it publish the letter? Does it have details of what the letter says?
Oh, damn it! I read the wrong one. It should say, sorry. Obviously, there'll be a new letter later on, but it says, scroll down, Bob, and down.
That's okay. That's okay.
And drive my Ripper strikes again.
On my phone.
Oh.
Why are you guys confused about this? You can just pack your bags and go home. You can take your beef stew. It was
Oh,
really
man.
good.
Boy, I strike a nerve
A
there.
little whiteout. And then,
So sorry, Ripper strikes again. And over the years, there have been several copycats, but this one seems to be taken more seriously. Several papers have picked it up. So Mina wants you guys to investigate.
What are the details of the murder? Was a body found? Where was the body found?
how many bodies?
Well, that is actually up to you guys to investigate. The paper states that it was a prostitute like it had been in the past. It gives
We must visit prostitute.
Ford, wer are so Prostitutes in der Egal?
I figured out who Ford is. Ford is just like Tyrion's.
His squire.
His squire.
Talk about
Starts with a P.
The Game of Thrones. Starts with a P, yeah.
Pod?
Podrick, yes. Podrick went to the house one time and they all loved him. They wouldn't charge him because it was.
I didn't hear what you said.
Never mind.
I figured out
I'm derailed
who
enough.
Adam's character should sound like.
The only German accent I have.
The Animaniacs. The
Oh, man.
everybody we saw it recently. Yeah,
Yakko Wacko.
But it's
Doc.
the doctor who's kind of like in charge of that.
It's not the big brain mouse who's constantly trying to take over the world, right? Brain.
Pinky in the brain, man.
Brain.
Awesome. All right, so Mina gives you an assignment. It's up to you how you want to engage the police. If you want to start your own, it does give the details of the murder. It's red light district, street X, Y, Z. It was 2 nights ago. By the time the paper got word of it.
Do we have any connections to the police that are sympathetic to the Rippers versus other ones? I can see some of the police showing us animosity.
I don't have any connections to the police.
Do we know any who on the police force still? That would be.
I know them all.
All right, well, let's go talk to some of you.
I
Your
thought
lawyers.
actually, I thought we needed to go to.
Morgue?
Oh, this is for that script you still on. That's why he's asking. Sorry.
All right, so you guys head off to the morgue.
Let's go to the morgue first.
There's well, do you make contact with any of your friends to try to get access? Do you gonna?
All I have to do is show up. Flash badge.
Who's working?
It's
Waldo
not-
Butters.
It's the morgue. Isn't it some kind of hippie who's just reading his horse racing papers?
That's the morgue. That's the
eating
1980s
pizza
morgue.
and- They're always eating pizza in the morgue.
In 1895. All right, you head over to the morgue you expect the body would be at. Do you have persuasion, Joel?
I don't remember.
I think he's got intimidate. I can't remember though.
No, I have investigation.
No. Do you have
I
intimidate?
have streetwise.
You have intimidate?
I have intimidation.
All right, roll me an intimidation roll.
Is there anybody who can help him on this? Because I've seen Joel roll before.
Joel's gonna make fun of my rolling.
3.
Good thing you brought dinner.
I'm giving up bennies now. Sorry, guys.
I get my extra.
I looked for him. I couldn't find him over there.
I forgot to give them up. 4 to Joel. 4 to Adam.
Did I do an accent last time?
Yeah.
Sure.
You went 3 or 4.
I do 4 because I did actually.
You did 4.
So I guess
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Samuel walks up and says,
Excuse me.
"You will step aside, Lazlo." Flex a little muscle there. Well, better yet, twirls his pecan. You step aside for us, please.
With his 3, huh?
With your 3, huh?
Yep.
He's not impressed. Sir, really, what are you doing here?
I'm a police officer. What do you think I'm doing here?
This is where persuasion or intimidation success would work better.
Does anybody have persuasion?
Pardon me, officer. Do you not recognize the great sergeant? What's your name?
Shepard.
Shepard?
Barker, Shepherd
Formerly
Barker.
of His Majesty's Royal Indian Army und Constable on patrol in the most difficult sources,
The Bowery.
Give me a
parts
roll.
of London,
Give me-
for the past 20 years.
Are you rolling persuasion or intimidation?
Persuasion?
Thank you.
I'm doing all I can.
You're right, I am a sergeant. I forgot.
I remember that part. I couldn't think of the word district or neighborhood, but I could think that I remembered you were a sergeant.
Area.
I know you. I can see that you have not heard of him. Is it too early?
This isn't working out too good.
Go for it.
Oh, allow me to refresh your memory. Shepard, what was your most famous case? I can't recall at the moment.
I guarded the president or the king. Or...
Oh, he was guarding the king in India. You must have heard of him. And that actually gives me a 4 thanks to my. Oh, it's actually a 5 with
Former
my lie.
President Grant.
Really?
Really?
I do think I recognize you from the papers now. Courtesy of Adam's persuasion and your slightly intimidation. What can we do for you, Sergeant?
Thank goodness I got +2 on that roll.
Well, I want to just ask you a few questions and see what's new, what meat is new tonight.
Ugh. All right, nothing's coming tonight. We had a couple last night.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess it's the wrong place.
No, because it was in today's
I know,
paper.
just-
So
just being-
Then again, how many morgues are in London? About 100?
I was gonna say.
Did you see them come in last night?
yes, I was on duty.
Anything mysterious?
It was a prostitute that came in strangled.
Really?
It was a man who came in looked like he would have been a pickpocket, and he ended up picking the wrong pocket.
Mm.
He got his skull bashed in pretty darn well. We like seeing that. Makes things nice and tidy for us. You know what it's like.
Well,
Were these people found in the same neighborhood by chance?
No. The prostitute was over where they like to hang out. This guy was found down by the river.
well, I think that.
Was he living in a van?
Well, my cousin's roommate had a sister who disappeared last night, who's been rumored to have been a prostitute. You don't mind if we go and check?
Oh, no. Anything you can add to the investigation, we greatly appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
He takes you back to the room.
All of us?
Are they coming with you? They're pretty rebel. They look like a pretty rough bunch.
I'm trying to kind of hide my doctor bag behind my back and say, I would very much like to help Herr Shepard in his investigation. I'm on special loan from the Berlin Academy of Police.
Yeah, these are all officers in training.
Even this kid?
You know, he's top.
He's part of the junior officer corps.
Okay, this is pretty gruesome, but if you're vouching for him.
You got a bucket in case we need one, right?
Oh yeah. So he takes you down, and they're smart enough to have it several levels below ground, so it's pretty consistent temperature.
Oh.
You know, granted, it is still winter, so it's not a big deal.
I thought you were going to say it contained smell.
I
Plenty
walks
of
you into.
candles burning.
He says, you got here just in time. We're getting ready to ship this one out to get buried tomorrow. So there isn't much more to see. He brings you in, and it's a scantily clad woman.
What's she wearing?
Not scantily. She's wearing scantily. I get a penny for that one.
We can make that early.
I would like to do a forensic investigation on.
I will do notice checks.
Sure.
I was going to go medical on the body.
Go ahead.
Curse
12.
you, Jules. Same roll 3 times in a row.
12.
12.
Yeah, so I'm looking for particular things around the wound,
Yeah,
around the
you see,
neck, around
it's
the
an obvious choking. There's bruising around the neck.
big hands, small hands, just average
Not
size.
hands.
Yeah, not hands.
5'6", 120 pounds. A little.
Well, you're getting all that just from the handprints?
Is there
Not
one checking the
her.
pockets?
They've already checked the pockets. Nothing of. Or,
Oh, so she's dead. She's not just mostly dead.
yeah, there's some coinage in the pockets. There's
There was chlorine in the bucket.
she has a tattoo on her left. No, it's a straight up strangulation murder. It looks like she tried to fight back. There's some bruising on her arms when she was, hitting back. Some scratching. Some looks like there might be some skin under the nail. Some scratching. Otherwise,
Her clothing, lower class, upper class.
she's pretty low class. She was not in a brothel. She was wandering the street.
Lower than that.
What's that? What do you make of that quirk?
Bloody hell, it seems oddly familiar, doesn't it? Didn't we see something like this in Germany? In the street before the police came? I'm trying to recall.
When did he turn Irish?
It's been a while since I've been in
Liver
court.
Pudlian, maybe? Maybe
I
that's what I'm
mean,
hearing.
we do need to make the point that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is not Jack the Ripper. They're both
Uh,
notorious murderers.
Didn't they both murder
Well,
prostitutes and
I
gruesome
get
marriage?
screwed up because our I don't remember about the regional Hyde story, but our Hyde was pretty much thinking of prostitutes,
Yes,
and that's where I got them conflated in my head.
yes, and I probably should make the distinction now. They're not related. I'm just
Oh, fair
pointing out
enough,
the right.
but it's still okay to bring up the similarity, I guess. I realize they probably
With
weren't
all these
related.
prostitutes being killed, that maybe it's not such a lower class thing now. That without the supply, maybe the demand has gone up and the price.
The supply and demand of prostitutes.
Alright, moving on.
Is the room brightly lit, Josh?
No, you're underground. There's candles and lanterns, but they haven't added electricity yet.
Is the coroner still with us, or has he left us in the room alone?
Unless you guys have any more questions, I gotta go back up to the front. I am waiting for another drop off. Going up when you're done.
We'll shut the lights off.
Don't mess anything up. Yeah, right.
Trespassing officers, thank you very much for your assistance.
Do we want
Court
the other-
removes his dark tinted glasses, revealing eyes that glow red.
It wouldn't hurt.
He stares at the body.
Dude, those are still freaking me out.
Sorry, no choice. Does he see anything different?
They're cool though too.
That's awfully kind of you, but I wish I had my real eyes back.
I've never been in a morgue.
Don't remember to.
So Waldo Butters leaves.
Poker will never die.
Thanks for the pizza.
And you gave the body over to Bob. You don't see anything else of significance,
Okay,
even with your enhanced eyesight.
no problem.
There's strangulation marks. It looked like it was pretty gruesome. Like I said, you see marks on her fingers from trying to claw the hand off, bruises from trying to punch back, but nothing exciting. It doesn't look like she was violated by any
I'm
means.
just picturing the morgue from Fletch too.
So,
Is there anything under the fingernails? A piece of cloth, skin from when she was trying to protect herself?
I mean, there's it looks like could be skin under the fingernails from clawing, but you're not going to get any kind of forensic analysis like that in 1895.
Yes,
Gentlemen,
I don't think DNA
The attacker
has been
had
discovered.
skin.
Invented, whatever.
You might find somebody with a scratch.
Let's go to the site, see what we can find, or where she's her known areas of work.
All right, so you
She's down by the
Oh,
docks.
no, that was the other body they had in there.
Did we investigate that? Do we have access to that other body?
It's across the hall.
Let's go take a look just to make sure. See if we find anything there.
Okay, you head across the hall.
I'll investigate this one. Hopefully, I'll do a better job. Yes, I did. The 5.
He's got a big old knife wound in the belly. He bled out. He tried to pick somebody's pocket.
Oh, his head was smashed.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Pick the wrong pocket.
That's right. He's got a big old Ford canal. A blind guy can analyze by feeling the big dent in the head.
But it's not. Appears to have been made by a heavy paw as opposed to a club. Or something.
No, it was probably a cane, a walking cane or something. Big. You know, it hurt. It's okay here,
Or
here,
here.
or right here.
Where the skull's caved in.
Yeah, his whole face is caved in on one side. His skull's down. Yeah, he's.
Gotta be a pretty strong guy to whack somebody in the head with a walking cane and do that much damage.
It was lead core.
Yeah, yeah.
Depleted uranium.
It looked. It could be one. It could have been just a metal rod.
Inanimate.
And have a carbon rod.
Yes.
But it was employee of the month.
Sector 9G. Anyway, or whatever it is. So yeah, there's nothing of note there.
Ford, are you quite all right? You seem a bit
Oh,
thin.
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Not bad, thank you.
Yeah, the
That's pretty gross, though.
Indeed.
I hope
No
when
change with it.
I hope when I go, it's cooler than that. But then I'm too cool to pick a pocket and get caught.
I was gonna say what?
Or it's no way you've ever seen before. Is it?
No, I'm new in London. Remember?
Okay.
How about you?
I don't know all the pickpockets in town.
Let's continue on to the where she was found.
Did you just on the spot?
Just another thought too is that we can go to those who defeated Jack the Ripper the first time and ask if they've got any advice for us.
Well, I mean, it was. Mina said they killed him. I mean, dead.
Right, but they certainly had to hunt him down. So if it was a
We can
copycat,
go and talk to
then
them about what we found
Sure.
and see if it mirrors with.
Wait,
Sure.
Who? What? Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. I'm back on board.
Yes, let us go to crime scene.
All right. It's been 2 days. I'd like you to roll a die. On even, it's rained. On it hasn't. Or snowed.
Bonk.
Well, yeah, it's London.
5.
So it has not rained. It's snowed. Yeah. The weather's been typical London dreary. The police have done their best to clean up the scene. You know, they've
Oh,
tried
so
to
there's
wash.
still blood and stuff.
They've tried to wash the big
They
blood
threw a
off.
bucket down.
No, it really wasn't any blood. It was strangulation.
Oh, that's right.
Did you get name of officers who investigated the murder?
They don't always investigate.
The fact is, it was a.
They probably had two dozen of these to go over last night.
You guys want to
I don't know if they're going to be much more help to us.
investigate, search, or anything?
I'll do
Well,
investigate or notice.
I find it interesting that the headline was Ripper strikes again, but there was no mutilation of the body.
6.
Jack the Ripper sent parts of corpse.
Do my investigation.
Not in this case.
Fine.
Then it's not a Ripper clone.
Hey, Josh, I'm streetwise. Would that help at all?
You can roll it. We'll see what we come up with.
6 for notice.
Wow.
Notice.
Oh, you need notice?
5 for investigation.
Wow. Mike, you got a success too. Bob.
5 for streetwise.
So you're investigating, talking to people in the area, Mike? Trying to get some clues or witnesses or get some stories?
Yes, exactly.
You're welcome.
Just investigating, just asking questions, talking to different people.
Because if we could find the people who discovered the body, we can see if the body looked like it was moved, if that happened here.
How do you get an 11 when you roll a 2, Bob?
No, the 1d2 was for you asked for odds or evens, so I rolled a 1d2. I didn't realize you just needed it from one person.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a second roll after that, and that's the 11.
Your notice test check.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you guys scour the area. It's obvious that the police did not do a very thorough job, since to them it was a, just
Not
really,
worth investigating.
yeah. You find a piece of fabric that it's a quality piece of fabric. You can tell that it's nice. It was.
What is that?
This does not appear to match
Velvet?
the dress of the girl on the wall.
It does not.
That's beautiful.
Is it what?
What is that? Velvet?
It's for me.
That's Coming to America.
Coming to America.
Oh, was that in the barber shop?
Yeah.
Lazlo takes the piece of fabric, just rubs it at his cheek the whole night. It's so soft.
Why are you rubbing the blood?
I
past
love that.
it?
Is it smelling?
There's no blood on it. There's no blood on it.
You want to make a joke? Oh, it's not blood. It's something else.
You find some paper. It looks like it's like something torn off a piece of paper. It's quality paper. It's not like it's something where obviously somebody with some wealth or something important had started to write something or had something on there and it was ripped.
Do we see it? Do we investigate it? Like see if we can see any lettering or partial?
Can we
Nothing.
do a rubbing on it?
It's the bottom half of the paper. It does not look like there's anything on it.
Should we grab a piece of charcoal and do a charcoal rubbing?
See if there's something that was written above it,
Yeah.
on top of it.
Oh yeah, I believe I have some charcoal in my doctor bag. Yeah.
That's for public stomachs.
Good night, Liz.
Thanks, sweetie.
Good night, ladies.
KOP seems to be back up.
Everybody wave. Good night. I did not get any of those.
You know you did. I heard you go. Two down, two
Other
up.
there, yeah.
I'll be right there, man.
You were just not tuned in.
So, all right,
You just don't
You're
care.
also not on call.
makes it easy. So, here comes Jules. Everybody wave to Jules.
Richard's wife.
Wave to everybody.
Good night, Jules.
Bye.
Jules, good night.
Bye.
Enjoy your summer.
She got
Oh,
it.
yeah,
No respect for Adam.
Feeling the love. By the way, my first is 2-2. Thanks. All I needed was a 4.
Oh.
Thanks.
Oh, Mikey, you'll be happy to know that I'm trying to make concrete countertops right now for the bar.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No. So someday when you get to visit again, hopefully I'll have concrete countertops to show you.
He's got to make new countertops because they took the bar, the whole freaking bar.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes,
Um,
I'll be right there.
So you've scoured the area. You've interviewed people. You get the impression there may have been a witness or two, but they're not talking.
But we have
That's why I hate being the first man in
ways
the
of
dark
making
city.
them talk. Oh no, wait. No, wait. Oh, scalpel.
I get the impression they may have witnessed a violent rape and killing, but they're not willing to talk.
The examination did not reveal any violation of the victim. If that makes a
So she was having a bad night, is what you're telling us.
she had recovered from her last visit or her last job
Far early this.
early in the night. All right. So you want to go back and talk to Harker, Bob?
Harker was among the original that took down Jack the Ripper, right?
Yes.
Quite. Then it seems that perhaps previous experience can illuminate us about current problem.
Would there be any use to going to see the officers who cleaned the scene up?
They can't just as much as I do.
So that's a no.
That's the trouble with this city.
The police officers in the city are just terrible. The old ones, the new ones, it doesn't matter. They just don't care. They say, oh, there's the body. He will pick up the body, and that is the end of the story.
Maybe if you're lucky, you can find somebody that you can pay some money to who might remember some.
You could make something up for us. All right, let's go back to Ripper Lodge.
All right. So Mina's not there, but Jonathan Harker is. He's happy to talk to you, and
I can see us all like sitting around the campfire. Can you tell us the story of Jack the Ripper?
Ford. You want me to tell it? Ford, you were like 3. Yeah, but Dad told it really well.
Ford, please, we need some exposition. Would you please go on?
Harker proceeds to tell you a lot of the story of Jack the Ripper, how the murder started, how how eventually they formed the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee, headed by a local builder by the name of George Lusk, who's still alive. And he actually specialized in music hall restoration and was a chairman
40 years old?
during the Whitechapel murders. What was that?
Just the way you looked at me with that dirty look was great.
He's still alive now.
He's still alive now, yeah.
No, that Adam said he'd be over 140 years old.
Yes. Well, in 1895 now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The Whitechapel Vigilance Committee was a group of volunteers. They patrolled the area in search of the murderer, helped trying to either catch him or at least prevent him from
Did they
murdering
catch
Bills.
him?
No, eventually the Rippers cornered him. He fought to the death. He was buried in an unmarked grave. Harker offers to tell you where that grave is. if you want to go
Yes,
investigate that
please.
further. So
Yeah.
he gives you details of what cemetery and where in the cemetery it is.
Or the tour.
What led to his capture and death?
We tracked him for weeks.
What-
ultimately we got
what,
lucky. Ultimately, we got lucky and finally cornered him in the middle of a murder.
So that was your break. You stumbled upon them where it happened to be
Well,
killed.
we had men in the Whitechapel committee. We had our own guys out there searching, and eventually one of them we tracked him down and found him. It was not a good time for us.
Details, is he not?
It was 7 years ago. How were you 7 years ago?
I was about.
He was here at a game night, probably on a Tuesday night, doing exactly what we're doing right now, I suspect.
7 years ago was probably Wednesdays, but yeah.
Yeah, right? It was a leap year in there.
Mr. Harker, is it then possible that we could leverage the resources of the lodge to search for this man?
Again?
I cannot fathom how it could possibly be Jack Ripper. We took his body apart.
Certainly, but perhaps we can search for whoever's committing the current crimes, whether it's someone who's emulating him.
We can do some reconnaissance to help.
Thank you.
We are stretched a little thin still, but we can provide a couple operatives to take a look in the area.
It's quite
Do you
appreciated.
know how
Thank
much
you.
confusion it'll be when we're going around talking to prostitutes saying that we're the Rippers?
That is really, I really don't like that part. That's the issue. That was an issue I had after reading this for the first
Perhaps
time.
we should tell them we are from the Ribbers of the Whitechapel Association. I do not think that we should say the word Ripper.
Okay.
You can be part.
Maybe you and I could say the word Ripper, but the people who speak English as their first language should not be saying that word.
The Whitechapel Vigilance Committee,
Vigilance Committee.
which was a real committee. It was a real group, and
The
George
way you
Lusk
said
was a
that,
real person.
It had to be.
Hmm.
What was I saying? I don't know.
All right, so it's the next day
We didn't go and investigate the tomb.
at night in a
What?
graveyard.
What else would we?
When else do you dig up a body?
That's the best time.
Gentlemen, I have some experience in this. We go at night. Hopefully it's municipality or
You never told us quite about that. You've alluded to it. That didn't seem quite proper.
What do you do when you bang head with other grave robbers?
Well, if we
Is
make
there a
sure-
code or something? You stay on your side, I'll stay on mine.
who are you here to visit? Oh, we are not visiting that person, so just go along on that.
All right, you go that night, as you wish.
This is very different. I did not have to hire help. You all here to help me. This is wonderful. So they were my downfalls the first time.
Who's got the show?
And you go out there. The grave is undisturbed.
Dr. Braun, have you got a moment?
Yeah.
I've noticed ever since you performed that procedure on me that in the evening it seems as if it's pure daylight right now. Is this supposed to happen?
But I can see when the light reflects on your eyes, it is very shiny, just like a cat whose eyes glow out at you from the dark. I presume that you are getting some of the positive effects of the feline eyes that I transplanted onto you.
But I look like a freak, sir. Is there nothing that you can do about that?
I could take the eyes out again.
It's better to have sight. than have
You
no
should wear
sight.
your sunglasses at night.
So you can. So you can.
See the visions in my eyes?
First, I believe you must invent the sunglasses. Yeah.
So come
Dr.
see
Braun,
me.
I believe you're deceiving me.
Depends on how the light's shining.
Hey, look over here. You force shines the light in your eyes. They're green.
He holds his
I
hand.
invent the laser pointer just to see if Bob will chase it.
It's very sensitive. Oh, what's that? Do you see that over there? Oh, it's under the rock now. Oh, now it's over there. Oh, now it's by a tree. Now it's up the tree. Oh, it's on my leg. Look at that. Oh, how delightful.
Good boy. Here's a kind of tuna.
All right, so the grave is undisturbed. It looks like it's been undisturbed for years. I mean, the grass is perfectly is growing.
Well, I
It's
think
packed.
we're obviously going to leave some flowers and say a prayer.
Oh yeah.
We'll come back in the morning then.
We should sit quite opposite the pot. Sword. Hopefully.
We begin to dig.
And then we go to red light district.
Yeah, we do. Oh.
Are you fair to plan? I don't teach my kids. I'll be back in 1 minute.
I think we just did it all.
You guys just be after a minute. How's that?
Yeah,
We are digging up this grave, right, gentlemen?
I didn't think we were. I mean, it's not disturbed. What's the point?
Oh, we're digging it up. Oh yeah.
He hasn't been-
We crept out in the middle of the night in a cemetery in the pitch black darkness, and we're not going to leave the grave undisturbed? What?
But how? if there was any sort of chicanery going
Monkey
on,
business.
Mhm.
monkey business, tomfoolery, perhaps.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans, perfect. Then I think that the dirt on this grave would have been disturbed, and you know, somebody would have dug him up. He would have climbed out of the grave, something like that. But you know, if whatever wasn't there was there, is still there.
Shall I bring to your attention that if indeed it is some creature of supernatural origin, then perhaps it does not need to disturb the very soil under which it's buried.
Well, also, if it were Jacques the Ripper, he would not just simply strangle the prostitute. He would have cut her up and taken some souvenirs and taunted the police by sending the souvenirs as he did last time. I think this is just a cheap copy, and the London Times is probably having a low circulation and just trying to drum up some fear to sell the paper.
Consider the things that we've seen so far, Doctor. Isn't it not better to be safe than sorry?
It was a prostitute who was strangled. Is that not uncommon?
Oh, just let me get this straight. You are against digging up a deceased corpse, while I am in favor. My goodness, how the tides have turned.
This corpse is decomposed and there's very little value in dissecting this corpse. The soul has obviously fled this body. There is no reason to dig it up anymore. Had we been here 7 years ago, I would be in agreement.
Okay, so based on what you guys have been discussing, Harker did describe the manner in which the women, the prostitutes, were killed previously. What happened was close, but not exactly the same. Subtle differences.
What was reported in the papers that we were reading in Berlin appears to have been different from what Harker has been telling us.
What you witnessed on the body that you just looked at in the morgue is slightly different than what Harker described as typically happening.
All we saw was ligature marks, right?
Yeah, he gave a little more detail. I'm not smart enough to give you the difference.
But she wasn't cut up.
Right.
I mean, Jack the Ripper was called the Ripper because he ripped the bodies apart.
Okay, she was abused somewhat, but not nearly as bad as Jack the Ripper had been doing. How's that?
Thank you, because I was really stuck on that.
Yes.
So she was cut up, but she wasn't dissected
Yes, she was not the complete train wreck
or
that
bifurcated. Like that one?
bifurcated. Done now.
That didn't happen until Hollywood in the 40s, but still.
There you go. You're using a $1 word, dude. You get a penny for that.
I lost my day. I just got it. I lost it.
All right. So you've met Harker. You went to the cemetery. It's night.
We're not digging up the body.
You couldn't. It would be extraordinarily hard to dig up the body. It's frozen.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it's
Going
been frozen.
to the red light district.
Okay.
I feel as if it would be a waste of time.
Okay. So you're in red light district.
Yeah, I do see the irony here, quick. In me not wanting to pick up with the dead body.
You got busted for that already once before, huh?
It was not fun, but it led me to the Rippers, the old builders.
Yes. So, all right. So you go to the red light district with your intent to be.
I don't think it's a crime anymore. Been a lot of changes in the law.
To kill hookers?
A little more flesh for it.
What is your?
So what are we doing in the red light district, guys? Because I don't remember what the plan was, and I can't think straight.
Are
Get a
you?
lay of the land? See where this place was. Is
Find
it-
Roxanne, tell her that she doesn't have to turn on her red light.
We might find people who saw things.
Well, you already investigated the murder scene,
Yeah.
so it
And
doesn't look like she was associated with a brothel. So she may have just been a streetwalker. which would be harder to track down.
Oh, we know Ford's got contacts with all the prostitutes, so then perhaps.
Hey! Don't be thinking I do naughty things. Perfect gentleman.
I didn't say that. I'm a proper Englishman. I would never infer such a thing. But certainly they prefer to talk to you than one of us.
I am cuter than you.
Perhaps we should look for a man with an overcoat or a shirt that matches the cloth that we found. Perhaps we will get lucky and find a matching tail.
All right, so give me a notice check or investigate.
I will notice. Hopefully.
7. I've noticed.
Joel,
I don't notice it.
Everybody?
2 2s again.
you should be wearing a tutu.
2 2s for
Adam in a tutu.
That's a plan I don't want to ever have to have in my head.
How much?
Your roll's better than mine.
That bad. 2 and 1.
Mikey, what do you got?
Obviously not paying.
10.
Oh, nice.
I tell everybody else to go look for a man wearing a cloth similar to this. They may even have a piece missing that's about this much. And then I go talk to the girls.
About 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, the weather breaks. It gets colder. The wind picks up. It starts to miserable, cold, rainy, wet sleet.
I'd say a lot for London.
You guys spend the night. Yeah, right.
Let's
You
go
guys,
home.
you guys spend a miserable night out there wandering around, and you get nowhere.
We don't spend that long. Maybe in the morning we go to places that would know where this fabric is from.
Yeah, that's a good idea, I think.
Does he have a dashery? Is the tailor?
You're French now?
Haberdashery. What is a haberdashery?
It's a fancy hat store.
There you go, Benny for haberdashery.
Lids?
All right, you guys get back to the lodge. The lodge. And,
Isn't it sewing supplies? I don't remember.
Haberdasher? No, I'm pretty sure haberdasher's a hat.
Okay.
So look for the guys who are all kind of twitchy.
Yes, so you spend your night, you sleep in the morning because the haberdashery isn't open till later in the day.
What about the tailor?
Nobody opens till, those guys don't open till like 10 o'clock. You know that.
What about the Flimflammery? Is that still open right now, or is that 10 o'clock?
The what?
The Flimflammery?
Which would be?
The Dashalongoli? What? No.
Those don't open till 11.
I can't invent industries right now? No.
They're the sunglass makers, Bob. Gotcha.
Yes, exactly.
Just as soon as sunglasses are invented.
All right, so you go visit the haberdashery.
And the tailor.
All right, give me
Slightly upper scale, because that looked like it was upper scale material.
Sure. What are we saying? What are we talking about? What are we? Who? Jeweler.
Do we go honest route? Do we go?
Do you have anything in this material?
Have you seen this material? Do you know where it's from, or can you tell us anything about it? Then we give him a little, like a shilling or two, a couple JPs.
JGPs. All right, so the haberdashery. Okay, the tailor's in no use, but the haberdashery. I can't stop saying haberdashery now.
It is fun to say. Agreed.
So he recognizes the material, and he's looking at it. Wow, this is really good stuff. This is typically either somebody who's very wealthy, or connected, maybe a politician, but it's definitely not something your usual layman would have. It's probably even somebody who's just above the middle tier wouldn't have this. This is really a high-end fabric for a hat.
May I ask, sir, what is it that you call yourself? The profession, that is.
I'm a haberdasher. Duh.
Of course. Thank you. And your clients, do they have any special names as well?
Yeah, customers.
Very good. Thank you. Yes. Sorry, Josh.
No, that's quite all right. So, he said there's maybe 25 or 30 people in London who might have something like this that he knows of. There are obviously other haberdashery, but he can only list maybe 25 or 30.
Oh. Bob, I think you're right. Sorry, I had to check. A haberdasher is a person who sells small articles for sewing, such as buttons, ribbons, zips in the UK, or a men's outfitter, American English. The sewing
Could be
articles are
hats.
called
That could be
haberdashery
that.
or notions.
So we're close enough.
Yeah.
Why do we both think they're hats?
You said hat, I agree.
I thought it was hats.
Oh, it was hats.
Excuse me.
I think we could have both. It seems
Small
like it would have hats in there as well. Anyways,
If someone had this suit or hat and it ripped,
Whoa there, killer.
would they come back to you to fix it?
Typically, if a piece of fabric like this is ripped, the garment is ruined. I have no way of patching it without it being grossly obvious that I've repaired it. So,
Have you had anybody? Have you had anybody come in seeking a a new hat of similar cloth or quality cloth,
I have not, but there are many other haberdashers in the town, in the city.
or should I say, small article of clothing?
Yes. It could be from a kerchief.
Kerchief. Oh,
Or an ascot?
Oh. Those are just fancy words all over the place.
waistcoat, or is that not fancy enough?
No, you just bring us down now.
It's fancy, but the word itself isn't fancy.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Cummerbund.
Ford comes in as you guys are still having this discussion with the new newspaper, and in this case we finally have. Guys, look at this! There was a new letter. There was a letter, and it was sent to George Lusk.
Bloody hell!
Whitechapel.
Ran the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee.
I remember getting two.
Will you look at that, gentlemen? Prices for students are still $25 and adults $38. Unbelievable.
They haven't changed since yesterday.
What the heck? What the heck? I had put this part in. I must have erased it. Guys, what do you want to do? It was sent to George Lusk specifically.
Was the contents of the letter published in perhaps a different page of the paper?
No, it was not. It was just that George Lusk says that he has reason to believe that this is. Ford is paraphrasing for the paper. That this really is somehow Jack.
I think you must have a word with Mr. Lusk. Yeah?
It seems like that would be quite wise.
How long does it take to deliver a letter nowadays? 1 day?
Depends on how it is.
Less time there. You just do it to a runner. And it goes from individual to individual instead of individual to.
To government agency.
Yeah.
All right, so you're gonna make your way to meet up with George Lusk.
Yeah.
All right, just a second. I'm trying to get. I thought I had put it in here. I did not. I did not have a copy of the letter in here. I wanted to put it up there so you guys can read it. Thank God for copy and paste. So George is happy to see you. He's aware of who the Rippers are, and once you explain who you are, he's happy to meet with you.
He doesn't freak out when we say Ripper.
No.
Okay.
And he presents the letter that was delivered to him earlier in the day. And there you have a picture of George and the letter. You may have to zoom out a little to read it out.
Sorry, I'm looking at what I guess Bob wrote.
Whoa.
If you're wondering how long it took to deliver letters back in the day, there you go.
154 miles in 15 hours. That's better than now.
That's pretty good. Yeah, they had it down to a science with crack coaches that had multiple horses, and when one horse got tired, they just flipped horses. And
Pony Express,
you
man.
could get pretty fast.
It is the Pony Express.
Yeah, totally. All right, I digress.
But here I am.
Lusker looks remarkably well preserved for somebody of his experience and skill. Well, 7 years ago, I suppose if he was 40, now he's 47.
So the letter says, "Dear boss, it has been a while, old chum, but here I am. I ain't done. Not by half. In fact, I'm just getting started. You heard me from hell, but now I'm back in my old stomping grounds. I'm not alone. My friends will be back too. Watch out for the whole army of rippers. I ain't going to quit ripping till I have my revenge. You're all fair game now. You see you, boss. Jack. Yak. So, what's this guy's name again? Lusk? Here, Lusk.
If you zoom out a little bit, I wrote his name under his picture.
Oh, well. Sorry,
Oh.
I'm bobbering away there. You guys kind of moved to the... Here, Lusk, what makes you think that this is from the real the real dead Jack the Ripper?
So George goes into his files, and as the head of the previous head of the Whitechapel Committee, when it was in action, he did get other letters from Jack. So he's able to take out his letter, one of the old ones, and say the writing is the exact same.
Was it handwriting or was it tone?
The handwriting and the tone are the same, and he shows you. The paper he has is much more weathered.
Oh, what a coincidence.
We checked the paper against the paper that was found at the scene.
Not the same.
We take a look at the handwriting with our expert handwriting investigative skills.
I think we all have that.
Totally, I got a D8 in it.
Give me a notice or investigate.
11.
3 combined.
Words on a page.
These are both letters.
I
Bob,
think they're
Marty,
letters.
It's made up of letters.
You guys have notice or
Mr.
investigate?
Lusk, was Jack the Ripper an educated man, or was he from lower classes?
They believed he was from upper class, I thought.
Yeah, we don't really know much about him. We do know that, like I said, we caught him red-handed. We killed him in the murder
You
stuff.
did not have time to ask him about his upbringing, about his education, perhaps how he felt
We
about
had
his
tea.
Socioeconomic background.
Was it
Physician.
Hopkins? Oh,
Physician, a surgeon.
But certainly you tracked back to where he lived, the profession that he employed when he was not murdering at night. Did he have books on his shelves? This letter seems to be written by someone who's not been formally educated, certainly not a classical education.
So they don't know a ton about him. You know, he was in London. He had a spot. He had a flat. Use the right word that he was living in, but they don't know where he came from or any of that kind of information. But like you said, everybody who made their checks, Mikey and Bob, you didn't make checks. Notice or investigate to see if you think that the handwriting is the same or if the tone is the same or whatever. Lazlo is absolutely convinced it's the same person. That Quirk says the handwriting is close enough that he believes it is the same person. Egon thinks there's words on a page, maybe. It's English, he doesn't know.
Yeah, no, it's just about the base language. It's not so refined as German.
I rolled a 7 on my notice.
So you know, Lazlo, when you were holding the papers up and trying to overlap letters, and they're looking way too similar to be not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Lusk, why did he call you boss?
It's just one of his ways of taunting me.
Why
That's
would
why
he
referred to me
taunt
in
you
the
by
past.
calling you boss? Did he previously work for you?
No, he did not work for me, but it's just his way of taunting me that he thinks he's in charge of the situation.
I dare say
You
he's
know anything
correct.
about his friends? He said that he's talking about.
Those are the other ones that the
His-
workers put away.
You know, his friends would be Dracula, Frankenstein. At least that's what your Ford's concern would be. The Ripper's concern would be.
He says you're off fair game now. Who do you think he's referring to?
I think
The whole city of London?
I fear that is my fear, that the whole city of London. It will no longer be limited to prostitutes, but open to anybody and everybody on the street.
Do you have any employees, Mr. Lusk?
I have several people who work for me doing my restoration work. Some of it I outsource to other tradesmen, but I do have several who work directly for me. I've spoken to them to take extra care, travel in pairs or more.
Have you made an accounting of where they were on the night of the murder?
I have not, but these have been men who worked for me for years, so I implicitly trust them.
Just as you've known Jack the Ripper for years.
I have not known Jack the Ripper in person. I was in communication. He taunted me through letters over the course of his murder spree. Once the White House committee was the
You were not
White
the
Chapel
only one,
committee
as I
was
recall. He taunted the London police as well.
yes,
Such letters and souvenirs.
yes.
Do the other letters have unnecessary capitalizations as well? Is that part of the
I'm
style?
looking at the From Hell. How did you hear from him from hell? Does that mean anything to you, Mr. Hairlusk?
I don't understand that line.
You heard me from hell.
You heard from me from hell. I do not understand what that line means.
Back about
I do know where he is. He
Why
is.
is not stopping? Why stopping?
English.
Does he mean that you heard from me from hell, like he's back killing?
That's what I'm afraid of. I've recently sent 2 of my men this morning. I sent 2 of my men over to examine the grave. I do know I am privy to where it is. Very few.
What have they found?
They haven't returned yet. It was only about half an hour ago. I expect
Do you
them back
think-
shortly.
Do you think it's intentional that instead of putting stomping grounds, he's put stamping grounds? Could he be in the location of a closed postal office, something like that? Or was he simply not so good with the
I
words?
do see. I ain't done. I
I
ain't going to quit ripping. I'm thinking this man does not have the highest in education. Certainly, he was not educated in the Germanic tradition.
But it could be a
Also, the guy who
clue.
wrote the
But I
adventure may
don't
not have
think
chosen
it's-
his words well.
I was trying to give you an out. A very feeling out, but an out nonetheless.
Sorry, Josh.
Oh, that's all right. That's fine.
Typing some license plates.
Could be out of post offices.
Big press.
If we look at all the words that are unnecessarily capitalized across his series of letters, do we get a hidden message?
Wow. No.
Okay.
All I see is from hell.
Yeah, I really only see the from hell.
And rippers, is that a proper noun?
Rippers, yeah. And then you could take the first word of every sentence or something like "Dear Boss."
Oh, yeah.
Good, then we just have to sit back and wait.
Yeah, they will come to us. They have nothing to learn.
This is mid morning. You're still talking to George. His 2 guys show up, and they confirm that the grave has been dug up. And it was a ton of work because you guys were there. The ground was hard. There's
Broken pickaxes and shovels everywhere.
there's remnants of fire all over the place. They had a big fire, like they were trying to heat it up. Yeah, it was a shit ton of work.
So that's just strange. The first murder. Has it been 1 or 2?
There has been 2. No, there's been 1. Now I have the letter.
As last night, the grave was undisturbed. He was there. I did not see how it could have been if Jack the Ripper did rise from the grave. He could not have committed the first murder.
It does sound that way to me. I don't understand. I don't pretend to understand. The supernatural is not where I belong. It is more for you, gentlemen and young lad.
Thanks for reminding me. Thanks for reminding me. But you forgot about me for a moment there.
He's making fun of my Ford.
And you've not received any other letters in the past few days.
No, this one only showed up this morning.
But have you received any other letters, perhaps not just from Jack?
No, none related to this business.
And no one has called upon you in the past week or so?
No. The police have been here to discuss the situation, but I've had nothing of value to offer them.
Well, then it seems clear you're going to start up an investigation again to mobilize all your forces to search for this killer now that he appears to be back on the loose. Is that correct, sir?
See, there's Jack Frost, there's Jack Jill, there's Jackie Nimble.
We will be reconvening the committee to determine what our steps going forward will be.
I see you are a man of action. I am glad to hear it.
One thing I would caution is that since Jack is sorry, I can't help it. since Jackson Ripper is threatening all of the citizens of London, and not just the prostitutes, make sure that people go out at least in twos, perhaps even threes.
Yes, I've already discussed that with my people.
Go out and
That
sleep.
is good.
Sleeves? What sleeves?
Sweets.
Go out and twos and
1,
sleeps.
2, sweet.
I thought you were in a town full of sleeves.
Sweeties.
All right, now, unless you have anything else, gentlemen, I do have a business still to run.
What?
Is it possible to use charcoal to shade the outer edges of the margin to see if this was a stack of papers, we might be able to tell what he was writing on a previous paper?
You are welcome to look at it. Yes.
Oh, I have some chocolate in my doctor bag
How
still from
convenient.
last
Is that
night.
is that for pumping stomachs?
For what?
Pumping stomachs.
Of course.
Activated charcoal.
Totally. I don't know if you can actually do a rubbing with activated charcoal, but yeah, whatever.
Do you remember that's your usual postman that delivered that?
My secretary received it earlier today. I would expect that it was
How did she receive it?
hand delivered.
By whom?
Our postman. I can ask her. Mrs. Stevens. He walks out for a second. Asks Mrs. Stevens. She comes back. Yes, it was our regular postman.
Do you have a butler?
No.
There's a button to do it, sir.
We examined the letter, the envelope it came in.
It was no envelope. It was full. It was a folded piece of parchment. In with his regular mail. His address is written on the back.
Seal? Was it a seal?
It was not sealed.
So wherever he is, they don't have envelopes. That's a good clue.
Was the proper postage affixed?
Moving on.
He may not in a place where there are stamps either.
Barbaric.
Alright, what are we doing next, guys? I'm thinking maybe we rest up and we spend the night out again.
That was quite productive last night. I think we should repeat this performance.
I heard the weather's supposed to be a little better.
How is that as good?
It seems we have no choice but to wait. And be vigilant.
Perhaps we should have one man walking alone while the others watch him. He can be the bait for a trap. And if you don't want to do it, I have some Scooby snacks for you to entice you to use the bait and the trap.
All right, so you guys head back to your lodge. You get a good day's rest.
That was a good one.
It was a good one. You're not getting another Betty out of
I was
you.
getting married. I didn't already have 4 bennies.
You get a good day's rest. As you're preparing to go out. I'll wait for Mikey to sit down. You ready there, Mikey?
Yeah, I'm good.
As you're preparing to go out, 2 police officers arrive at the lodge and ask specifically for you.
Your police officers, I recognize their traditional accoutrements.
It's a fancy word.
Come on.
Is that from something?
Star Trek reference and a fancy word? That's not worth a penny.
They ask you to come with them to we'd like to ask you some questions. Would you please come with us?
Do you need all of us? Because I feel as if we could cover more ground by splitting our party.
I would prefer you all came with us. We have some questions for everybody.
Say please.
Please.
Oh, well, is that the case? Yes, of course we will go. What is the matter, Mr. Vanquist?
They bring you to the Whitechapel police station.
Oh, Whitechapel's. Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
It's an area. It's
a section.
And they start asking you about where you were the night before, what you had done.
These guys think they're hot shots in this precinct.
We're telling the truth.
All right. Give me somebody give me a group
Shepherd.
persuasion roll. Who has persuasion? Somebody give me a group persuasion roll.
Does anybody else besides me have persuasion?
I have D4 trained. That's
Same
it.
here.
Shepard,
not
if
have
you want to give me
Policery.
some sort of role related to this, that where you can call on some people, some contacts. It may be streetwise or investigations.
Tracking of streetwise.
Roll streetwise.
Streetwise is as close as we can come.
Yeah. If you roll well, you get a plus down on persuasion.
Oh well, forget that.
5. All right. Adam plus 2.
First. Forward.
13.
13 with Joel's +2.
Yeah, with Joel's +2.
How you talking?
So what do you say?
Oh, Bob, I just noticed your roll. We'll use mine. How's that?
Sounds good to me.
Lazlo tells the truth with Egon correcting him along the way. Honesty being the best policy, they are completely satisfied with that. And there's been another murder. We'd like you guys to come with us, please, to look at the scene. So it's taken a few hours. You guys we're a little late getting out, so it's after dark at this point.
But that means it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
No. Oh, yeah, that's right. They're really far.
Wintertime in
Yes.
Freaking
London.
just under the Arctic Circle.
Yes. All right, they take you to the crime scene. The body has been removed. A large pool of blood is stained the cobblestones. Some articles of clothing and a few personal effects lie strewn about. Like I said, the body has been removed. Let's get some notice and investigation checks to see what you guys find.
Investigation, right?
12.
Oh,
Good thing we're not fighting. Jeff's on fire tonight. We lost Mikey again.
whew.
I got a 9er.
I'm looking at a 2.
If I failed, I was going to say I did a medical and I found a pool of blood.
4. All right, so to start,
Where is this geographically? Is it related to the last place?
it's on the outskirts of the red light district, so yeah, it is. Mikey, can you give me a notice or investigation check, please?
5.
5. All right, so Shepard immediately spots a small leather pouch off the side of the pool of blood, slightly out of sight, but he retrieves it.
Laurel and Hardy didn't find it?
It contains a few farthings, a silver American dollar, and a folded piece of paper.
Ooh.
Since I'm assuming you're going to read the folded piece of paper.
Unfold the paper.
And on the paper it says,
On the paper.
I think we should burn it first to see if it...
Eggs, milk,
Drop it in blood.
Cheetos, some Cheez-Its. Oh no, it doesn't say that. Okay.
Signed by you.
I don't remember signing this.
Jonathan, Erling, Lazlo, Egon, Shep.
Who are those people?
I don't know. Signed by who?
You.
Me?
It's like you gave this person this note.
But I'm Egon. Or all of us.
You as a group gave this person this note to meet you back there.
Oh dear. That's
Does
not
anybody-
good.
Does anybody have a pen?
Who's the dingling who wrote this note and didn't tell the rest of us?
I was gonna say, are all the signatures different?
Well, I guess the question is, did any of us actually really write this note?
Bloody hell, of course I didn't.
The Rose and Crown, I assume, was like a bar,
Yeah. Yes.
tavern?
Lazlo, did you write this?
No.
Shep, Shepard?
No.
Clark, did you write this?
Bob, did you write this?
Oh, I already said it. No, bloody hell, of course not.
Okay, it was me. It was a practical joke. I wanted to make the guys stand out in the rain for a date. The cop fesses up that this is why they called you in. They found this note. They put it back where they found it. They wanted to see your reactions. Obviously, they wanted to see if you had written a note. They don't believe you had, based on your alibis and such.
Does it appear that we each signed the note individually?
The names are no. It's like somebody wrote it. One of you signed it for everybody.
Right
You know,
now,
it's like when Amy signs a Christmas card. She just
are we
writes the names.
behind the Rose and Crown right now?
No.
Okay. What time is it?
It's later evening now.
When did
5
you find
o'clock
the
the
news?
night before?
The body was killed earlier in the evening, later in the, after dark. So Shepard found that one.
What do we know about the Rose and Crown?
Sounds like a
It's
town,
the tavern.
an inn. It sounds like an inn in medieval England, and I don't know what my accent meant.
To medieval England.
Mikey, you find written on a wall just around the corner.
Stop me before I kill again. If you could.
Remember Ponari.
Remember
Sounds like
Ponari.
Indian, but Shepard, does that mean anything to you?
Is that Pokemon?
I think that's an evolution.
The battle will come on. Shit.
Remember the can't.
Yeah.
Should,
Man, do I have to tell you guys everything? Do I have to tell you guys everything?
I can roll history.
Ponari was the castle where Dracula was killed. When he was defeated.
Oh,
He was
sorry, I
defeated?
wasn't there for that.
Don't you know Ripper history? Don't you have the history book?
No,
I
I,
should've
I
known
have
that.
the PDF
No.
on my phone.
I should have known that. We'll be in Transylvania, no?
Yes, you
It's
might
more
have.
like Romania, not so much.
So obviously there's some link to Dracula at this point, as well as Jack the Ripper.
Oh, great. How many more bodies do we have to go through?
Dracula's butler.
So, gentlemen, let me summarize the situation. We have an evil conglomerate of masterful villains who like to write graffiti telling us that they exist and send notes anonymously. I believe that we are being plagued by 14-year-old villains.
This is a precursor of the crank call, yeah?
Hey, stop making fun of my friends!
Do you guys think it could be some other group made up of Lazlo, Shep, Egon,
A different Lazlo Shep Egon?
in
You
London?
idiot, you captured their stunt doubles.
Did you guys want a knife and cutting board for that watermelon?
I was gonna pull out the ice cream.
There's ice cream?
Remember we put it in the freezer?
Oh yeah.
You found room in the freezer?
Yes.
What kind of ice cream?
Klondikes.
Oh, good. I can resist those.
I had trouble getting to my water down here.
All right, so Lazlo, if you want, when you want the ice cream, let me know. Lazlo, you find a tooth discarded nearby. The police discounted it as a dog's tooth, but you recognize it to be a little too large for that. And
You're not familiar with canine teeth.
you might want to give me a Ripper Tech roll.
Oh, yeah. This is finally coming in handy, my D4 Ripper Tech. Yeah, it was a 4. It was a legit 4.
So then you'd explode and roll more.
What?
If it was a D4, you
It was a legit 4 on my D6. I think it was.
Wait, I have grim fatalism, occult knowledge.
I'll take
Oh.
that.
I was gonna say I can do better with a cult than with Ripper Tech.
Okay.
You don't have the grim fatalism though. 5. I went from a 4 to a
4.
5.
All right. Between the two of you guys, you piece together. You think it's a vampire fang.
Let's put that carefully.
I know what's going on. I don't know if I'm supposed to know.
What's going on?
Somebody has put the pieces back together.
Remember how I took the eyes from that animal and implanted them in Quark? I think that somebody is taking the parts of Jack the Ripper and
Putting
Count
them together.
Dracula, not necessarily, but taking them for himself or themselves, and they are able to. Perhaps the man took, did the murder, dug up Jack the Ripper, and took his hand to be able to write like him, some things like that.
What? That's bloody mad! Only a madman would conceive a theory such as that. Only
That's an awesome
somebody
theory.
who was incited in the darkest minds of an evil villain would... Oh, it's Egon. Well done, Egon. Well done. That seems quite feasible. My God.
I'm just, Egon lights up. Oh, the wonderful possibilities.
Oh, bloody
Especially-
hell. You'd best not be getting any ideas from this, Egon.
We must capture this man alive so that we can interrogate him and find out how he was able to find these old bodies and use them. Because from what I had read previously, Rippertech must be used, the parts must be extremely fresh. It's like almost a transplant. You cannot dig up a corpse and use the pieces. Whoever is doing this is very, very special and has some advanced knowledge. If this is true.
Dr. Frankenstein?
That was different. That was simply animation, not very hard to do.
Do you guys, the police, or
Whoops.
is there anything else you want to see here? Do you want to see the body?
Yes, let's see
Yeah.
Bobby.
I think perhaps you should investigate the body, yeah.
All right, so they take you back to the.
I'm anticipating puncture wounds on the neck and total examination, yeah?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's a pool of blood.
Yes, they take you to the morgue.
Hello again. It's good to see you.
See,
How have you been?
we belonged here the first time. They take you down to one of the rooms, and there's a body there that is hacked. You can barely recognize the face. Please give me a notice check.
Ah, now this looks like the hunting of Jack's Lipper.
9.
Nanger.
5.
Oh, you guys are doing very well.
Bob, notice checks.
Lowest possible, 3.
11.
So Jonathan Quark, his eyes don't focus as well as they should still because he's getting used to them. The rest of you immediately recognize, despite the gruesome cuts and I mean, just the face, the body is utterly destroyed. It's Jonathan Harper.
Bloody hell!
Ford throws up. Ford can't take that when he recognizes who it is. It's a combination of fear, disgust. He's absolutely devastated.
I never knew he was prostitute.
Oh my god.
Hey, when you're alive that long, whatever kicks you can get.
Married.
When you're married that long.
Yeah, fair enough.
I hope we got all the information we needed from him.
I know, right?
Well, I mean, he was only the head of the London branch for Mina runs the show.
Yeah. I guess it was not kidding that
Hey, there is one good thing that's about to happen about this whole thing. She's now available, and she's pretty hot.
she's not bad for 175. No, I agree.
Bet you she has lots of experience.
Oh yeah. This is true.
What was that other guy's name? Lusk?
George Lusk.
Yes.
You think he's in danger?
I think it seems to be more interested in taking out the ripples rather than the common folk.
I think anybody who's a ripper is in big trouble right now.
Lusk is not a ripper, I don't think.
No. He's
We've
straight.
got to let them know. They're all in danger.
All right, I mean, you head back to the lodge, pass the word. What do you do?
I think it is our duty to inform the lodge.
I think we need to do that, absolutely.
All right, you head back to the lodge. Mina's there. She asks, "What have you found?" Quirk.
Madam, you may want to sit down for this. We have grave news. This evening, approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes ago, we found the body of your husband, the founder of the Ripper's Lodge, Jonathan Harkness, dead, apparently killed by Jack the Ripper.
She's disbelieving. She goes off the deep end. She storms away. Just from the, she vows revenge. She goes off the deep end for a little while now.
Madam,
It's safe to say that she
do you
goes
respect?
What was that?
Madam, do you respect? You can breathe later. Now is the time for action.
Here you go, Mikey. Since you asked,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost here.
there you go.
Scary looking, actually.
That looks like the younger niece of Sigourney Weaver in Black
It
Widow.
never looked that good. Anyway,
Who is that? Is that an actress?
yeah, that's somebody played Mina Harker in one of the movies. I just googled Mina Harker.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, cool.
So apparently there's been several actors. Winona Ryder played her at one point, but that one didn't work for me. She was
Was
badass
that
enough.
Bram Stoker's?
I don't know.
I think that was Bram Stoker.
I
Maybe.
didn't even realize she was Mina Harker in that. There wasn't a whole lot there.
Keanu Reeves was just going, whoa, the entire time.
Oh,
Because I think
Keanu Reeves was Jonathan Harker.
Yes, he was. That's why I picked Graham Moff Tarkin there to play Jonathan Harker because I couldn't
Totally
use
on board with that.
Keanu Reeves.
I was gonna say this, but now Graham Moff Tarkin is dead.
Maggie from The Walking Dead.
my excellent friends, I am dead. Whoa.
Wait a minute, isn't that also the extent of Keanu Reeves' dialogue in most movies?
Which is why he was perfect for the Matrix, right? Because that was the one expression you needed. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, with like a stone face, no expression whatsoever.
So this is virtual reality.
So as Mina storms off, she says something to the extent of keep everybody here, keep them all safe. It's like she's going at her own rampage.
Okay. So we need to go after her.
We're not seeing her again.
Oh, you heard her.
I think perhaps we should get a meeting together right now and tell everybody what we have found and what happened to Herr Harker.
Agreed. Who's second in command of the lodge?
I think we will need to find that out in the meeting.
Certainly, we would know that by now. We've been here for 9 months.
The easiest person to approach is Alfred the butler.
I forgot about him.
Would it be common knowledge, though, don't we know who the second in command is?
It really hasn't been that long, because you were traveling for a while, searching for.
I mean, we got there in January and the ground's still frozen.
It's March now, so it's been a couple months.
One of which was spent traveling.
There's a lot of transitional people there. There's a handful of people that man the lodge on a fairly permanent basis. Alfred may not be in charge of the lodge, but he's the guy who knows everything, so he's probably the easiest person to approach, and he's there.
Well, let's get him and get everybody together.
He can arrange everything that needs to be arranged.
There's gotta be a bell we can ring.
As Alfred, we must get everybody together to the auditorium. We have a late announcement to make.
All right, so he manages to arrange. It takes a couple days to get everybody in. They're out and about.
Yeah, we're talking like 20 minutes.
You can
just
tell,
run down the halls going, there's a meeting right now. They have to have some protocol for this.
There's a handful of people there, but a lot of the agents are out.
Well, they'll have to hear the news through the grapevine.
Weren't they just like attacked and decimated with murders in January? You think they'd have like higher security protocols and a system of alerts when bad things happen to the lodge once again after the murders and the stealing of the formula, the high formula? That's sloppy work. Sloppy work, Harkness.
They don't. If you remember, they're not. What's the word I'm looking for?
Organized?
At the strength they wish to be.
Competent?
They're spread thin. They're spread thin because they just haven't had the recruits. So
and it seems like they've been beat up too for the last year or so.
Yeah. So.
Well, then that begs the question: their entire like recruitment policy of let's go ahead and take a very small percentage of people and let's have all the rest get trapped underwater in
Stop betting
cages.
and just enjoy the game.
Kill all the B pluses.
Okay, fair enough.
Alfred shows up. He takes one of Bob's betties. Give me that.
So we make an announcement to everybody who's in the lodge.
All right. So Alfred calls a meeting at the lodge. You end up with about a dozen people.
I thought we needed an auditorium for this. Apparently, we just needed a hallway.
There's probably another half dozen to dozen who are out and about. You know, within London itself, within England, there's probably 15 or 20 more.
So we're talking.
The Rippers is not a giant organization.
Between us and them, it's half the people are in this
This
room.
like ginormous, voluminous mansion of a lodge.
It's like the X Mansion, which only has like.
There's
only 2 people living there.
Perhaps you could not afford to get lights for more people to be in the lodge, huh?
They're all traveling.
Gentlemen.
You're really gonna let him speak for the group?
I have grave news to inform you.
What great news is there?
Grave news.
Grave.
Great news. Herr Harker, about 2 hours ago, was murdered in the streets of London.
Oh no, not John.
But by all appearances, he appears to have been murdered by Jack the Ripper.
That's impossible. He was defeated and killed years ago.
The grave of Jack the Ripper has been disturbed. Desecrated. Note has been written to
He's getting ice cream.
Herr Lusk of the Whitechapel Protection Society. It appears to be Jack the Ripper's handwriting. It threatens all of the members of the Rippers. And it says that Jack the Ripper's friends will be coming for us all. At the scene of the crime where Herr Harker's body was found, we also found a vampire tooth. and on this wall it said, "Remember Paul
No.
Dameron."
Yes, Eagle, but what was the vampire's truth? What was that they found?
Ponari.
Remember Ponari. It appears that the old enemies of the lepers
Don't do that to me.
are on their way, on their intent on wiping
I
out
already
us all.
brushed my teeth, thank you.
Chief, want to share this with me?
It is.
From,
You want to share this?
yeah, I'll split it with you.
Out of my splitting.
Joel, you're not having one? Or did you get one for yourself already?
Joel's handing me dessert.
Did you bring up a whole box?
All right.
Oh. In more disturbing news, Frau Harker we have informed Frau Harker of the news of her husband, and she has stormed out of the lodge in order us all to remain here and stay safe.
We will be leaving momentarily.
We will be leading our group to follow Frau Harker.
We will be heading for Budapest.
Very gruesome.
I do echo her words that you should all stay safe. And I am passing along Frau Harker's orders to stay on the lodge. However, we will be heading out shortly to keep Frau Harker herself safe.
Alfred intervenes. He mumbles something about instituting XYZ protocol, travel in pairs. Yeah, he gives all the formal stuff you guys did. Because they did actually have procedures and such for events like this.
Sadly, it's 3 days later, though.
He just died. They just found out he died.
I really just wanted to show off that I remembered the German word for Mrs.
So, in this scene, you're going to speak to an entire lodge of rippers. What is your motivation?
Oh,
I want to show that I know we're proud. Okay, very good. Go. Roll with it.
That works. Go with that.
That's pretty good.
Do you guys stay in? Do you go back out? What is your plan?
No, we go back out.
Go back out.
We're going to arm back up, though. I think now is a perfect call for having Alfred open up the secret stash of secret weapons that they haven't shown us yet, so we can use those secret weapons.
Didn't she tell us to stay here?
Alfred, have you got something in the armory that can fight some of the enemies of the lodge? Those creatures, darkest of the dark, the ones that perhaps you've not shown us yet, but you've been waiting for that special moment.
We have a
The
large selection of silver weapons. We have several pieces of Ripper Tech where we could implant in you if you're up for that challenge. Looks like you've embraced some of our less orthodox practices.
Well, I've not embraced it, but I'm beginning to see the advantages.
Oh, hello.
You need a blade that has wood, like a wood part, a silver part, and an iron part, like all
Yeah, right.
twisted together that you can.
You've not got Excalibur in a closet somewhere, do you?
No, we don't.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Did you hear what Jeff just asked for?
Yeah, that was pretty clever. I like that.
So you can stab anybody with it?
Yeah.
Silver,
Great.
steel, and wood. silver, iron, and wood, I should say.
Shotgun shells with pellets made of the same materials.
There
So Alfred, then what sort of Ripper Tech do you think might be available?
Is there something specific you like? There are. I know you guys have asked. We do have 2 sets of Ripper claws. You guys should fight over them.
Now you're talking.
I already know that Erland and Shepard are taking people for it.
Grab one of those.
There you go.
Can you hold your baton in that hand still?
Wrap around
I'm looking up the Ripper Tech bomb. Just a second.
Are there not also tinctures or
Potions? Elixirs.
elixirs of weapon tech you could use?
All right, I'll get you a list of those things at the end of tonight's adventure.
Thank you.
No problem.
Much appreciated.
There's a long email about that somewhere. Are you guys are going back out?
No.
Yeah.
I think we have to chase down Frau Harker.
Fully armed. You bring your So in this case, Lazlo's bringing his rope and grappling hook this time.
My sword,
I'm bringing my
my
rifle.
rope, my grappling hook.
Do we have
Gun.
silver bullets or wooden bullets?
Also, are you bringing your cousin from the last episode, like tied to a leash?
You find a silver ring about 3 inches wide, maybe an inch
You mean brass knuckles?
slide onto the baton.
So
Silver
a
baton.
little weight, like a blackjack.
Oh, I thought he was going for a silver ring that you put in
So
fire.
here's the
and-
question I have for you.
No.
I take a wooden arrow. No, I take a wooden arrow.
Uh-huh.
I put a metal tip on it. I shoot a vampire through the heart with it.
Does it kill it?
Does it kill the vampire?
Is the wood touching the heart once it impales the heart?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
The wood shaft is through the heart.
So I think if the wood shaft is touching all parts of the heart all the way through, you
But
could
the
say
actual
that.
piercing was not done by wood.
Piercing with all my metal.
Interesting.
But maybe the wood is what prevents it from healing.
Right. That's an interesting discussion. Huh.
And they never said like it's not a wooden stick. It's always a wooden stake, not a shard of wood, not a wooden arrow.
Although if you watch Buffy,
If you watch Buffy, I was going to say anything wooden.
she finds wood everywhere. She has a sliver in her finger that's like a centimeter long. Poof, vampire dead.
Oh, what was it?
So a sliver goes her in.
That dress in the first episode of season 2, when she goes and dances with what's his name there?
You okay there,
Adam, that's a different kind of wood.
Oh, sorry.
Hey.
Sorry.
I give Bob and Betty back for that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
All
I
right.
thought Adam was setting us up. I thought that's what he was going for.
You guys spend the next
I
couple
wish
days
I was that good.
surveilling the streets, walking the streets at night. You catch glimpses.
How often do we get proposition? Oh, never mind.
You catch glimpses of Mina Harker across rooftops. I mean, you can't even begin to comprehend the level of enhancement she has with her protect.
Oh, so she's way out there.
She's you don't see what she's doing. You have no idea if she's having any effect. But you actually you get gone.
So it's up to us to handle the funeral arrangements.
We check in with the police department.
The morgue.
Anything different?
Good night.
That's right. She's mine.
What was I thinking? Night, guys.
Lady,
Hey.
cook you dinner and then drive 20 minutes to drop it off to you. 20 minutes one way.
She has cooked me dinner in the past.
Yes, I used to.
The first time she made me dinner, she made roast beef, which was great, and mashed potatoes, and she boiled 9 potatoes.
She knew, hey, man's way through, maybe man's hardest through stomach. Apparently she really wanted to get to your heart.
Whole. It was the boil for a long time.
I didn't realize you had to cut up potatoes to boil them for mashed potatoes until a week ago.
You didn't?
I've never made mashed potatoes,
She'd never either. So there you go. Same boat.
except that was 20 years ago.
All right.
I'm now pushing 40. It was pushing 20.
After a few days of your efforts, someone knocks on the lodge door and wishes to speak with you.
Yeah, we've been down this road before.
Raise your weapons. Get ready.
Doesn't Alfred answer the door?
Sure.
Sherlock Holmes.
None other than the immortal Sherlock Holmes.
Basil Rathbone.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
What's it called?
Basil.
He was the big in the 40s. He played Sherlock Holmes.
I feel better with Basil than I do with Benedict. I'm thinking.
Is it Basil Exposition? Oh no, that's Ford.
So Basil shows up. He greets you, introduces himself.
Our response is, no shit.
I'm Sherlock Holmes.
No shit.
He says he's been investigating the cases you guys have. He does not have any more leads than what he thinks you guys have, but he does believe that this is actually a plot by his arch nemesis Moriarty.
Oh, add another one onto the pile.
All you truly Sherlock Holmes. I've read so much about you. If you are, please prove it.
He goes on to detail his cases, and Then he looks at you.
That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for.
Stuck in a computer chip somewhere.
Well,
And,
last time he fell off
He infers about 16 different things from you that you'd never
but
even
he doesn't know
recognize
he's
as
on the
yourself.
computer chip.
That's bloody amazing, sir. It is an honor to meet you, Sir Sherlock Holmes. But
Would you
I'm
like
gonna
to start now?
Wait. Herr Quark, I think you're selling yourself short. Perhaps you could perform the same trick on Holmes himself. Give him the taste of his own medicine, yeah?
I don't think I can even begin to emulate the powers of this man.
Oh, I see
Truly,
you can. You're
a
being
mentalist at its finest state, indeed. I have nothing but awe and respect.
You just out of curiosity, Quirk reaches out with his mind a little bit, and Holmes's mind is unlike anything he's seen. It is it is amazingly structured and walled off garden, and you're like the way it works is entirely different. I threw mine over there and missed.
Oh.
I'm not worthy.
You're worthy. Get up.
So, they put this in here. He doesn't have a lot to add.
Really?
No. So Holmes, like I said, he leads Moriarty.
I think, Holmes is there to introduce us to Moriarty. That's pretty much it.
But he's cool at Sherlock freaking Holmes, guys. Come on now. It's just meeting Sherlock. That's pretty awesome.
I agree.
Maybe put those contact bars back in the freezer, Joel.
I can't believe all of you aren't like in line behind me, like, do me now, do me now.
They're not tracks. From Guardians.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Put them in the cooler. Where's the cooler?
Outside?
No, it's under the box over there.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's halfway to the freezer.
So Sherlock, and you guys review your information. He doesn't have anything new to add for you guys. You have all the information he has. Like I said, he believes it's Moriarty, using his genius to try to insinuate something else for some other goal. He does warn you as he's leaving, though, that and in case you aren't aware, you are being followed. Mediterranean fellow, sharp features, left leg slightly longer than the right. Catholic, if I'm correct.
Pharmacos?
Bloody hell, not him again.
Check.
He fell off a boat. He's dead. How can that be?
Give me a notice check, please.
I was going to say,
7.
I think so.
You're overthinking all the fun out of this night, Jeff.
Sorry.
3.
did you expect this all to fail?
No. It's notice. It's the default skill everybody should take.
11.
Critical
Quirk only
failure.
out of 2. Mikey, your notice check up.
5.
5. You recognize the description as. Where's my reveal? This man. Enrico Gambusini. Does anybody remember him?
He was on the boat
Not quite.
in Germany.
Do we have an argument with him in the diner?
No.
Was he part of our initial test to join the Rippers? In that
No.
group?
Bob?
I got nothing.
The other plot point you guys played was the Banks affair. You went to recruit a guy named Banks to join you.
That was like 6 months ago.
He had several other people there. Enrico was there. He is not a fan of you. He wasn't a fan then, and it appears he's trailing you now. The next morning, just for the record, because it's several days after Harper's death, there's another note in the paper about a murder. They're not ascribing it to Jack the Ripper because it's not a prostitute, but it does follow Jack the Ripper's MO as far as mutilation and such.
Is it
Are there any missing members of the Rippers?
There are no missing members of the Rippers. Well, I assume you're going to investigate.
I wasn't
Be a
planning on it.
copycat.
Okay.
This could be a good time to catch up on paper with.
Yeah, we're supposed to stay in the lodge.
Everyone is fair game, gentlemen. Everyone is fair game.
That's
Well,
why-
I thought we had everybody at the lodge, right?
It wasn't a Ripper that was killed.
Let's go investigate.
Then we don't need to investigate.
All right. It is a
Yes,
female.
Investigate.
Lazlo goes to the morgue alone.
Alone with us.
Ford goes with him.
Mina?
No, he said she's not a Ripper.
Oh.
Or he's not a Ripper, I believe.
All right. So the let's start tying some stuff together for you guys.
So where's this guy? Oh, he showed up.
He's tailing us.
He has been tailing you at least. The
Somebody told us that we were going to follow up, didn't he? Right?
Sherlock.
Yeah,
did.
Holmes.
Maybe he's talking about this guy.
also
Mrs. Peacock was a man?
you guys head to the morgue to examine this body. It's dismembered, but worse than usual, it's missing parts.
Uh-oh.
Get a bucket.
It's a female, and
Is there anything unusual about the anatomy of it that suggests it might have been supernatural?
no, but in this case, they actually have an identification of the person.
Does it look like Mina?
No, it's Juliet Frankenstein. Frankenstein, the
So
granddaughter,
would your name be Friedrich Frankenstein then?
the granddaughter or the daughter of Victor Frankenstein, the daughter of Victor Frankenstein.
From the New Jersey Frankenstein.
Yes,
What was she doing in town?
I don't know.
Not being in her little village anymore.
She is
She
significantly.
sees a torch and a pitchfork in the same area, and she gets real twitchy.
Not living?
Body's completely dismembered. There's most of the organs are gone. Lots of pieces are gone. They do point out that they found, and they show you another expensive piece of men's fabric, men's shirt fabric, actually in her hand.
But not now. We're not interested in fabric. We're trying to solve the case. Excuse me.
This is the best clue we have.
Sounds like a family issue to me.
It sounds like whoever is doing this is looking for parts to put the new monster, for new Frankenstein's monster.
They're trying to rebuild Frankenstein's monster, is what I think.
Well, it's giving the word Frankenstein's monster a double meaning.
Which parts were taken?
Organs.
Organs.
Perhaps Moriarty's monster.
We check out
That
fabric.
could be Moriarty. Moriarty could be behind all this in some,
Some sick way. All right, so you make the rounds again to your tailors and haberdashers. I really don't like the plot points. I'm trying so hard to make it good, and you guys are struggling with it.
I thought we were kind of getting there.
You're getting there. I'm trying
There's
to bring it home.
There's a lot of wait for a body, get a clue, wait for a body, get a
Yeah,
clue.
I know.
That's something I've got a question, just between the six of us. Do we know where Alfred was during all of these attacks?
Alfred, I swear, Alfred never leaves the lodge. He's always there.
Has there been confirmation? Has he been seen during these attacks?
Yes, for the most part, he's always. If you need him, he's there, and he's always talking to somebody. I don't think the guy sleeps.
Very good, because usually, and I've read a lot of Sherlock Holmes novels, the butler's done it.
The butler's done it. You trace everything down, and I'm sorry, the alcohol just kicked in for a second there. You find
beer. Fireball.
We don't do Fireball here.
Sorry, whatever cinnamon whiskey got on here.
You spend the day tracking down where this fabric came from. Ultimately, you do find a store, but it's closed by the time you get there.
Is it called Moriarty's?
No, it is not.
Because God, that'd be a good clue.
Jim's.
That would be a fantastic clue. Moriarty's haberdashery.
Over the course of the day, you do get confirmation that the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee has reconvened and is scheduling patrols. Now there's been a third murder that matches the MO of Jack the Ripper. They're very concerned. So, see, there are people acting, Bob, in their best interest.
It only took 3 bodies this time.
That's wonderful. I am very pleased with that.
All right. You spend the night out. What do you do for that night?
Hell no. I mean, what?
Well, the Vigilance Committee has patrols out there now.
We patrol.
You patrol too?
Yeah.
All right.
We should.
Absolutely.
You take your shift. Everybody give me a notice or streetwise or something.
Oh, 4.
12. These go mine. Machine.
Ooh, another 2.
Bob, you are
It's my-
smoking. 3, 2, 3, 3, 2.
Wow, those are really bad notice checks.
I got a 7 on my streetwise.
7. See, I can remember when I was in college, there was this thing going on where this guy was pulling the fire alarm every night. And they organized a group that everybody would watch the halls until 4 or 5 a.m.
That is awesome.
And sure enough, at
5:05.
10 after 5, the alarm went off. You run into 4 other different groups wandering the streets, trying to keep people safe. You break up into smaller groups, 2s and 3s.
We split the party?
And you find absolutely nothing other than other groups who are patrolling the street trying to keep things safe.
Josh, did you guys catch the people pulling the fire alarm eventually?
I don't think they did. It was really miserable too because it was finals time.
Hey, Josh,
Yes.
you can tell us. It's been years later. Was it you?
No, I was actually one of the idiots who volunteered to watch the hallway that night.
Which is exactly what the bad guy would do in that situation. You sure it wasn't you? You can tell us.
I'm sure it wasn't me, Bob.
I think
Okay,
the
all right.
limitations on that has expired.
I'm
Josh?
sure it wasn't me. I was pretty pissed off too to spend the night and then have to go outside
Yeah.
later on.
I'll keep your secret, Josh. It's safe with me.
Thanks, Bob. So the next day there is of course a 4th murder.
I'm sorry, what?
The next day there's a 4th murder, and it makes the front page because it is George Lusk,
Hell.
Dun.
the head of the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee.
It's probably gonna go away now. Accomplish what he wanted to accomplish.
Yeah,
The murderer.
totally.
There is a witness. He is claiming in the paper that a fat gent in a top hat running from the scene sobbing. Since he wasn't no monster, I never thought anything of it. Is the exact quote.
Wasn't no monster.
The
Fat
penguin.
man in a top. Yes.
Which I-
Hardy from Laurel and Hardy? No.
It was actually Curly Howard.
Sherlock Holmes.
Top hat. Not.
Are you
Sir
following?
Top Hat?
Are you following up on your fabric thing? You got to investigate hardcore. What are you gonna do?
Well, let's see the body first.
Okay, the body is hacked up. It is not dissected like the woman from the night before, but it's hacked up very similar to Jonathan Harker's.
Missing pieces.
I think we split the party up in half, go check on the fabric, and the other half check on the body.
Ooh, it's getting dangerous.
It's
Which
crazy
means the
talk.
same thing in the long run because we're just going to listen.
I'm just gonna bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
I call body.
I suppose I should investigate the body since I'm
I will go to the scene of the crime.
medically trained.
He was killed in his office with a pipe now.
I mean, it's daytime. I mean, you can be a little bit more careful, and it's easier to see what's coming. And
Yes, yeah, no, you can. Turn you on is actually a little reckless.
So all these murders happen at night, right?
Less reckless
Yes.
than doing it at night.
Yes.
You know, why don't people just stay off the streets at night?
I know, right?
So
It is wintertime. The sun doesn't rise till.
well,
nine,
Musk was
or-
killed in his office.
Sets at 4.
Oh, he really was killed in his office.
He was killed in his office.
So how did somebody see him running away?
No, that was the witness reported somebody running away,
How,
not
how,
Musk.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Out of his
He the
building.
witness.
Was that
How did the witness see
Out of his
somebody
building.
running away?
out of the building?
Oh.
I assume that there was
in that building.
armed guards since he had received a threat in his life earlier in the week. There must have been a contingency of police officers protecting him.
Actually, there were. You'll note in the article that on the paper that Lusk is quoted as bitterly decrying police inadequacy, questioning whether they are shielding someone of importance from prosecution, and really he felt safe in his own home. You know, all the other murders have happened out of doors. So once he was home, he felt pretty safe. He had his own gun, not discharged. The body, like I said, is hacked up just like Harker's was. There's no missing pieces though. It's all there, unlike the Frankenstein body. You go to his office to examine the area. Giant pools of blood everywhere.
Yeah, there are. Oh, wait a minute.
Anything missing that we can remember from when we saw him before?
No, it looks like it was purely an act of complete.
Do we notice any new letters?
Dracula wouldn't leave puddles of blood, would he?
I don't think so. I mean, no.
Can't drink 7 pints of blood.
Well, gentlemen, we do know that the killer is dressed quite shoddily. Perhaps we should find out who's his terror.
It's obvious now, as the day progresses, while you're doing your investigative work, that people are scared. They're hurrying where they're going. They're walking in pairs. Ford brings up a newspaper that details how another grave has been dug up.
This one, the grave of. I'm trying to think of who we don't have yet.
It's Dracula.
Oh, over in Port Amberlin?
No, he was actually laid to rest in London, where they defeated him on hollow ground, and they dug it up anyway.
That's really good of them to create burial sites for the most deadliest creatures on the planet.
Well, I think they
really
felt that by giving them a righteous, proper burial on hollow ground, that they, put them to bed, put it to rest.
Yeah.
got it. Consecrated ground, they could come back.
You got it.
They could sprinkle it with holy water.
Well, if you put it in a churchyard, it's hallowed already.
Uh-oh.
What does that mean?
Patches are on.
Oh, it should be the DC. No, this DC was already done. Are those success or failure?
I don't know. I just saw the email.
Oh, I should sign off with VPN, huh?
All right, so next steps. We're almost
Follow
there.
up a little bit on the
We're almost there, guys. I know this is dragging.
on the fabrics.
Onto the haberdashery, of course.
I feel a little put out, you know?
What?
What's the matter with
Do
us?
we not count?
How come nobody's going after us?
So you make your visits to the haberdashery.
That guy's sick of us by now.
They refer to you to a tailor. You're able to put 2 and 2 together. The tailor has a list of typical customers. Haberdashery,
And even fit the
and you come up with a guy's name. Harcourt.
size.
Harcourt. He is a politician.
It's not a publisher?
No, he's a politician in the House of Commons.
Very athletic. Parkour.
Oh, it's in Harcourt Brace.
Last name Mud.
What do we know about this politician? Does he
Star Trek.
have any public persona that is common knowledge?
No, he's just some typical politician scum.
Hmm.
Nobody has anything positive to say about him.
Just describe 90% of the politicians.
Exactly.
Wait, we're talking
He's
about.
very popular in his own district, and that's it. Nobody else likes him.
Right.
So they do have an address for him, both an office and a home. I mean, it's a tailor, so he will actually go to these places to, we actually got service back then. So he gives you the both the home and the office address.
Nothing that needs to be reported tonight. Talk about it tomorrow.
Oh,
What
And
time
there's
is
not
it?
even anything to talk about. I gotta fix something that I don't know what's broken, but nothing's broken from a production perspective.
What time is it in the game?
in game it is 3 o'clock.
What time is it in the game in Brazil?
7 No, it's probably 12. I don't know. You're asking me hard questions, Bob.
What time is it in the game in Australia? No.
Oh, jeez, fuck that noise.
Thank you, Adam. So it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
You have some information that maybe this guy Harcourt is somehow involved. You've got confirmation that Dracula's body has been dug up, and Lusk is dead.
Shall we go to the? Shall we visit the politician then?
Oh, pretty bad run there.
Yeah, let's go see the politician then.
All right. So you have to see.
We can go back to Lodger headquarters and bring an entire mob of people Perhaps a few pitchforks and some torches, not just us. Considering how these creatures have completely defeated.
It's not
Some of
hungry.
What was that? What was that?
That works in old country.
I have pitchforks and torches in my doctor bag. I can just pass them out to everybody.
It's like a freaking bag of holding in there.
It's totally like Hammer's face. Need a hammer? Here it is.
It's a small TARDIS.
Yeah.
It's a bag of holding. Let's not kid ourselves. So, do you go see Hardcore?
Yes.
All right. So he's there. He's sitting at his desk when you arrive. Can I help you, gentlemen?
Sir, we've stopped in as loyal patrons of your political persuasion and also large admirers of your fashion sensibility. Let us tell you that over the preceding months and weeks, we have certainly enjoyed your choice in fabric and haberdasheries. In fact, this piece of cloth here is quite indicative of the mood of the day, but this cloth here was quite stylish on Tuesday, while this one here was quite stylish in the home of Mr. Lusk. Do you
Sir,
have a
what are
note
you
of this
saying?
piece, sir?
I don't know what he's saying.
Sir, what are you saying?
We'd like to know how your clothing ended up in the room of Mr. Lusk and how Mr. Lusk ended up dead, sir.
He knows where the politicians was.
What was that?
He was the one who we think was running out of Lusk's office.
Actually, you did not find the fabric in Lusk's office. You found it in Frankenstein's hand.
Yes, but he doesn't.
And
know.
the first piece was found in Harker's pouch, and the second piece was found in Frankenstein's hand.
Yes, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah, no, I'm lying. I'm just making you feel uncomfortable.
Sir, I have no idea what you're talking about with Mr. Lusk. It is a shame that he was killed. If you guys want to give me Streetwise, Bob, to see if, or peek in his head, that's your choice.
Oh, we're not doing streetwise here, my friend. Yeah, we're busting out the big guns. We're gonna take a peek in his head.
Spending some spell points.
It's not a peek. He's gonna chop off the top of his head and look at his skull.
I'm just gonna do a regular old notice check.
Sure.
Looking around the office, looking around his. What's he got?
So
Four.
Josh is. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Nothing terribly exciting, Jeff. You do spot paper that if you're taking notes, you note that it's paper of similar quality to what you had seen before. That torn out piece of paper with the first person.
But he's rich. It may not indicate anything.
Bob, what are you looking for in there?
I want to know if he has any affiliation with the entities that have caused the death of the notable people in the past 3 days, or the past week, however long it's lasted. That's the question.
Because it's 10, 11, 10, and I want to finish this, and you rolled a 9, which is a raise.
For a change, I rolled high.
You've been saving it up.
Isn't it?
What was that?
Isn't it an opposed roll?
It is opposed, that's true, against his smarts.
He's only a D4. He's a politician.
He does have an edge that makes it a 11 for purposes of opposition.
Okay, so my
instead of-
2 does not compete to your
I
11.
think that's 2 raises then.
You're able to see in there. He was, for lack of a better term, pressured by by another organization that you don't know, that you don't recognize, to commit the first murder, based on his recollection of what Jack the Ripper did to commit that murder, and then the other group was going to use that as a sacrifice to raise Jack the Ripper. So that Jack the Ripper is now has been resurrected in some manner.
So, can Harker tell by pressure? Does he mean supernaturally pressure or?
Harker, you mean
Yeah,
Quirk?
Harker can't tell anything.
Quirk.
Quirk. Can Quirk tell?
more like forced, not like
Like mind control. Or,
not mind control. More like you're gonna do this. We're gonna kill everybody you know.
Gotcha.
Please, I feel so horrible about it. He completely breaks down. You can tell he has significant remorse. He really does. Didn't want to do it and felt that it was the only way to protect those he loved.
There must also be something about the death of Lusk.
The subsequent death, the subsequent murders, only the first murder was performed by this guy, by Harcourt.
He was at the scene of the Lusk murder.
That was a plant by the actual Ripper, by actual Jack.
Oh, it was somebody who looked like him?
Jack took some of his clothes and then to frame him somewhat. So you have the story there of what happened.
So he's saying he's guilty of.
He's not saying anything. What Quirk is seeing in his head is that this guy was coerced into killing, into the first murder of the prostitute, based on his recollection of Jack the Ripper's murders from 7 years earlier, and that murder was used as a catalyst.
I was just going to say that word.
To resurrect the real Jack the Ripper, who's committed the subsequent murders.
Quirk does a very, very poor Sherlock Holmes impersonation. Like, it's quite clear after seeing the real thing that there's nothing there, where he kind of says, and we know this, and we know this, until eventually the politician is crying on the floor.
He is not crying on the floor. There is, like I said, significant remorse. He didn't want to be involved in this. He got roped into the wrong people. He does not have a contact, which I know you're going to ask me next.
Mm-hmm.
How was he given this pressure? How did he get threatened? What manner was the threat delivered in?
It was how am I going to say it? Men approached him and who he had dealt with in the past, who he knew were thugs, and he feared for his own life and that of his family's.
We just go with these thugs.
He doesn't know who the thugs are and no way of contacting them.
Top men.
I'm sure that thugs in London are not going to be hard to find.
Sure they are, because there's about 1 million of them.
Yeah. All right, so let's not go down that rabbit hole. The tracks do not lead that way. I'm sorry. Somebody come up with something. I got nothing.
Perhaps with another check we can get a sense of what these thugs look like. If I scan his memories for an image of one of the thugs.
I think the thugs are not the right way to go on this. Call it a
Yeah, you're right. But still, what other choice have we got?
I don't know what is the right way to go.
How do they reach out to you? How do they contact you when they need things from you, sir?
What was that?
When this group needs you to do something for them, how do they reach out to you?
They just pull me. They come find me.
And if you need to share information with them, what do you do?
I don't get to share information with them.
Hmm.
This is purely a one-way street.
It's like Boston.
So.
Thank you for at least acknowledging it.
This plot point is just struggling to get to the end here. We're 5/6 of the way through. I am content to give you guys the rest of this. You're struggling to get there. I don't know how a good way to present it either.
There's other gaps. What about Dracula? What about the dug up bodies?
It seems as though if the first murder was to resurrect Jack the Ripper, since subsequent murders were to resurrect the other founding members of the Cabal in succession.
Right.
Somebody
I
killed
thoroughly
Harker.
agree with that.
Somebody killed Harker. Somebody killed Frankenstein. In theory, potentially Dracula's back. The real Frankenstein may be back.
Oh yeah, they're all related to their thing. So yeah, ritualistic murders to resurrect
Yes.
the things.
Someone killed Count Chocula, somebody has killed Frankenberry, someone has killed Blueberry. It's a serial killer, gentlemen. It's a serial killer.
Please tell me that Captain Crunchberry is fine.
Oh man. Bob,
No, nothing.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Nothing.
No. You got me good.
That was good, Captain Crunch. He's quite alright. A bit seasick though.
Okay, good.
All right. So
so who was resurrected with the death of Lusk?
I don't. It doesn't tie them specifically together. I'm tying them together right now as a very obvious. Maybe Harker was revenge, and Lusk is Dracula. I don't know.
Anyway, so Lusk could have been revenge.
Yes. So the fact is there is one more significant murder, and then Jack the Ripper falls off the face of the earth because he's incited you to investigate him, but he's moving on to other things.
That's the plot point.
The plot point is that Jack the Ripper and Dracula are back.
And Frankenstein?
Potentially Frankenstein. There's no proof of that. You are supposed to get this clue.
And what's Gambuccini in all this? Nothing? That we know of?
Yes.
He is tailing you. He's a Catholic, so maybe the Catholic Church has a bone to pick.
So also Crucians?
Don't forget, you and the Rosicrucians don't necessarily see eye to eye.
Oh, that's why I figured he's telling us like a little bitch.
So, at the very end, you are given this clue.
Anybody here read Ancient Greek? Or Modern Greek? Oh, goddamn, I don't know the line. Fuck. Does anybody here speak Ancient Sumerian?
If anybody wants to make a check on that, I do have the translation.
We know Erling knows a number of languages.
Erling knows the languages, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He says,
You guys get.
Did you post it?
You get Harcourt to what, Mikey?
Did you post it? I don't see it. Did you post it there?
Yeah, I did. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's on the screen.
I said it on it just now. You get Harcourt to confess to the murders, so London calms down. The murders do stop because Jack has moved on.
So we get him to falsely admit to...
Well, he admitted to the first murder.
Okay.
And the police are just wrapping it all up nicely.
Because that's what they do. Good London cops.
Can you see it now, Mikey?
Yeah, I got it now.
So if anybody speaks Greek or has that, you all have like 4 languages. Nobody ever picked any out.
No, I
looks
didn't
like-
think about. Greek was not among them, I don't think. Yeah, Latin and Greek are not close enough, I don't think.
for what?
If you wanted to give me a smarts check with a raise, I might give you something.
I can boost somebody's smarts.
Check with a raise.
Well, no, you have Latin, Mikey.
Hold on, so I'm trying to see what my languages are. I wrote it down here.
You're just gonna keep throwing it at me.
What?
You're gonna keep throwing it at me till we're done.
So far, I've rolled 4 dice. My combined roll is 5.
Ooh, I got a raise.
Knowledge of the occult.
First one I like.
I do not have. I mean, I would assume I would have Latin, but I have English, Norwegian, and Egyptian.
16.
16.
16. I got a D8 and I have a +2 on my when I spend bennies.
That's very
You
impressive.
take it back to the Ripper Lodge.
Nice.
You find Jimmy the Greek.
It says book.
You have
It says
It
the
says-
library.
It says be sure to drink.
It actually is a
Ovaltine."
library.
Library.
You
Bibliothèque.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a lambda.
It's a library
No,
of
it's a
light.
lambda.
It's his library of light.
Oh, that's good.
Is anybody familiar with the Library of Light in ancient Greek?
Alexandria.
Try to. I knew it. The present-day city of Iskandar was built on its ruins. Ancient Greek could also lead to Egyptian as well. The Greek writing could also indicate Egypt as well. They were just across the sea from each other. Erling, are you
Alfred?
familiar with the Bible, the Library of Light?
No, I am not. I have not heard that reference in the past.
Thank you, Erling.
Alfred.
Yes,
A week or so after all goes down, Mina Harker appoints Tara LaGrange leader of the Old Worlders faction to replace Jonathan Harker.
Now, did she try to find the right person for the job or the right woman for the job?
We asked Mina.
Yeah,
Does
you know,
she
at least we didn't end up with. Never mind.
Does anybody know Library of Light?
Nobody knows anything about it right now.
By the way, since we're at it, who's second in charge? Would be good to know for future. Next time the lodge is attacked.
Well, Mina is in charge. Has been in charge of the Harkers. Alfred is kind of managing the London Lodge at this point. It has been implied that you guys should find and build your own lodge soon, so that you can have your own resources outside of London.
Certainly seems that the lodge decimated that creating a new one isn't exactly in their best interest right now, but
They
very well.
They need to branch out into newer areas, potentially attract new recruits.
So we should build one on the side of the old lodge.
I've got a lot of connections in the Scandinavian area.
Building a lodge is a neat thing that's in the player's guide, where you guys slowly build a lodge and gain resources and that kind of stuff. So that'd be neat
We
too.
wait to catch somebody, and then we just take over their house.
There's bonuses too. I think like Ripper Tech is easier
Yes,
to
you
do.
have protect bonuses by building an inadequate lodge.
It's just sitting there empty.
Because pretty soon I'm just going to burn
It's
down the
clean up, don't get me wrong.
Pretty soon I'm going to burn down the London Lodge, so you can't use that one anymore too.
It's like when your parents kick you out of the nest, tell you can't stay there anymore. You just burn down the house. That's all.
Well, guys, after a huge absence, that was a tough plot point to get through.
It was kind of good most of the way through.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was kind of fun.
It was good. It was just really hard to follow.
We had stuff to do at least while we were just waiting around for bodies and clues to show themselves to us.
Yeah.
But it was still railroad tracks, and this is the one clue you're going to use. You're going to use that clue.
You're going to use that clue to get
one
you
with it.
nothing towards anything else until the next clue is given to you. Gives you nothing
No
until
matter
the
how
next
clever
clue
you
is
are,
given to you.
That's why I was really happy when Bob rolled so well, so I could fill in all those blanks for you.
Thank you, Bob.
I think the addition of Holmes and Enrico was interesting in the plot.
And Holmes, I don't know how much more he has to do. The whole Catholic Enrico thing does come up.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's not, it's well, I guess we can assume still that Moriarty engineered the resurrection of Dracula, and
You're assuming Moriarty's involved at all.
that was based on the evidence we have. That's the best we can go on so far. And I swear it's getting hotter still.
No, that's just the booze kicking in.
Booze is gone by now.
Jeff would know.
Jeff would know. All right, gentlemen. So 2 weeks. The theme is meat on a bone, and that, from what I can tell right now, unless things change, it'll be Adam and Jeff and I eating here.
Oh, yeah.
Because Joel will be on the road potentially, and Bob will not be here, and Mikey will not be here.
And I may be putting together a PowerPoint presentation for our 9-year anniversary.
I do have big plans for 10, where I want everybody to pick like 3 or 4 really cool events, and then we'll put them in order as like a top 10 things that have happened in 10 years.
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
But that's for next time, because 9 years, I gotta have a goal for 10.
Of course.
But if you want to have a PowerPoint, Bob, I kind of miss Bob's stats PowerPoints.
Yeah, those are fun, but it required everybody to keep stats. That was the trade-off, right?
There was a lot of downtime at the table, so.
Oh my gosh, it was. So.
That's true.
Any more Project Euler for you, Bob?
Say again?
I'm gonna stop recording. Any more Project Euler for you?